about 2 weeks after putting our plants into the ground. The garden is blooming. We've got corn, we've got courgettes, we've got cucumbers, we've got peppers, we've got all different types of herbs, we've got tomatoes, we've got carrots, we've got kale, we've got pak choy, we've got a variety of different types of tomatoes, we've got strawberries, we've got rhubarb, we've got raspberries, and we've got blueberries. The garden is blooming. We're deep into spring, heading towards summer, and it's amazing to see, with a bit of nurture, a bit of love, a bit of hard work, lots of water, lots of nutrients and time, and the garden is blooming.
Steady hands in the soil, breathe in the breeze, no noise, no rush, just the hush of the trees. Found rhythm in the roots, a whisper low, planting hope where the wild things grow. Blueberries rising, cool and slow, tomatoes blaze where the sweet winds blow. Sweet corn swaying to a beat so old, earth hum stories that were never told.
Let it grow, let it breathe, from the roots to the canopy. In silence and rhythm the harvest knows, life returns where the garden grows. From London soil to the village stream, it's more than food, it's a living dream. Oh, the garden grows, yeah, the garden grows.
The call gets stretched where the sun feels warm, kale like thunder in its quiet form. Bok choy glistens in the midday grace, cucumber spiral through sacred space. No chemicals touch what we raise with care. This is soul food growing everywhere. Dangerous crops is how we heal, from the wound to the roots. What's real is real.
Let it grow, let it breathe, from the roots to the canopy. In silence and rhythm the harvest knows, life returns where the garden grows. From Cape Coast soil to London clay, hands in the ground we find our way. Oh, the garden grows, yes, the garden grows.
That's great. The real question now is, how do we stop insects and animals and birds from eating our crops? I'm starting to see on some of the leaves holes and signs that insects have been eating our leaves. Also, some of our strawberries have appeared in different locations around the garden as if it's been picked by an animal and pecked, potentially by a bird, and partially eaten. So the question is now, how do we protect what we're growing? Because not only do we want to eat what's in the ground, so does the life around us. The insects, the animals, the birds want to get stuck in. So we're mulching the beds, and we're using mulch to help keep the moisture in the bed, somewhat keep pests away, and to also add more nourishment to the ground. What we want to try and do is make sure that the mulch, what is decomposing slightly, we don't want it to touch the plants. So we want to kind of create a 2 to 3 centimeter space around the plants so that it can nourish the plants, but again, not affect the plants by making the plants rot. So it's a hands-on job. Gotta get dirty, make the garden grow. Honestly, on one level, I really don't mind sharing some of our food with insects and animals. It's part of the cycle of life. But also we want to preserve the longevity of our garden. We want to preserve the longevity of the plants, the fruit, the herbs that we're growing. We don't want these insects and animals to come in and eat everything and destroy it before we've had a chance to either harvest or just help the plant continue to grow for the next year's harvest. So this is now the next challenge, some research to look at now how to protect our garden. We've tried to do the permaculture aspect where we definitely have got certain plants in each bed that is meant to keep away the insects, and it's somewhat working because not all of the plants are being devoured, but some are being devoured and some not so much. And another productive day here at the Green Fingers Garden. We have mulched our beds, helping them just to be able to preserve that moisture in the ground, keeping away certain pests, and also adding more nourishment to the ground. So it's another day thinking on our feet. We've decided to get these marigolds as a defense for our plants to keep away some of the insects Marigolds are really good for pollinators. They encourage bees and butterflies and hoverflies to come into the garden to help pollinate our different fruit and vegetables. Let's try and give it a go and bring some flowers into the garden. Let's squeeze through. So we managed to bring back our marigolds. We got some from the garden centre, one we got from our daughter's garden club, and another one is actually another tomato plant. We've got a variety of different species of marigolds, and the idea of that is that they all provide different benefits for the ground, to keep away insects, and to attract bees, butterflies, and hoverflies to help pollinate our other fruit and vegetables in the garden. Today we've been caught in spring showers. We're in May heading to June and it's raining. But the garden is singing, the plants are celebrating, our fruit and vegetables are being nourished by the heavenly sky. But it's a bit wet for gardening today. But I'm gonna try and get the marigolds either at least into their beds or at least into the ground. Hopefully the rain will break for a little bit so I've got time to still do this today. Not above your head.
Yo, from cracked pavements to planted dreams, the struggle breathes seas and every root fights for the light.
Oh, I came up where the block was the classroom. Concrete jungle sunlight couldn't pass through. Poverty thick like smog in the lungs. Had to dig deep just to speak in tongues. Now I'm planting purpose in the soil I turned. From the ash of the system, let the wisdom burn. Food forest visions, no GMO lies. We grow kale where the dope boys ride. Ain't no escape, we build from the ground. Compost the pain, watch truth come round. Addiction to healing, not self-destruction. Raised beds rising from self-construction.
Think we rise from the cracks, feeding.
So 10 weeks later, our garden is blooming. We've got cucumbers on the grow. Our marigolds are flowered and looking beautiful. The nasturtiums are developing and growing. All of our different vegetables. We've got courgettes, we've got corn, we've got tomatoes, we've got peppers, kale, pak choy, again, different types of tomatoes. We have got lemon balm, we have got mint, red onions, we have got strawberries, we have got rhubarb. The garden is looking full of life. But I've discovered through a little bit of investigation, all these little black flies on our nasturtium plants. So I'm like, we've got black flies on our plants. They're eating our plants. We've got an infestation, look at that. You know, we're developing our understanding of permaculture, but obviously I realized that I put nasturtium into the bed to try and prevent certain insects from eating our main crops. I thought ignorantly that they would just keep them away from the bed. But actually, the nasturtium are a trap plant. What they do is they attract these biting insects like these little black flies, and then they keep the black flies at bay on the nasturtium plant, away from the main crop. So it's amazing to see that our permaculture system is in effect and working. Right now I've been looking at like, how can we do it in a non-invasive way? What should we do with the black fly? So we're gonna remove some of the most infested leaves, and then we're gonna maybe wash down a little bit and just to reduce some of them that are there, so that we don't just give them the free run of eating all of our nasturtium, or they may just devour them all. We've got a beautiful little baby cucumber here growing, looks great. Our courgettes are beginning to flower. Most of our marigolds are doing really well. They're flowering, they're blooming, but a few of them have died. In our rhubarb and strawberry bed, it seems like some kind of animal has actually eaten the marigolds. I'm not sure if it was a snail or what it was. Our wind deterrent has actually seemed to keep away certain birds from our strawberries. We've got some beautiful red, juicy looking strawberries. The girls are gonna harvest a few more strawberries in a bit. We've got our beautiful blueberries. We had our first blueberry harvest today, 10 weeks in after planting. We love blueberries and their antioxidant super berry powers. We got to taste our first blueberries from the garden. We all love them. Beautifully as well, also, we have pak choy ready to be harvested. Some of our kale, our curly kale, our cabbage, definitely ready to be harvested. We can start eating some of this pak choy. You could actually even eat a little bit of it fresh from the garden. It's really fresh. A little bit mustardy, but really flavoursome. You wanna try some? Come on.
Sacred roots grow.
So good to be able to actually be out in our own garden, our own space, where we planted these different food crops and being able to eat straight from the ground. It's a pak choy. Look at our lovely pak choy, cutting off the root. A little bit of garlic and soy sauce. Yeah.
Raised beds bloom where gray once slept. Sacred seeds sown, promises kept. Cardboard laid, compost flows. Wisdom awakened where wild things grow.
Our first beautiful harvest.
Purpose aligned.
Perfect.
One goal, one rhythm, one powerful sign. Can we grow up to
Lemon balm.
Our first mint harvest. Basil. Carrot. But right now, we're really happy. 10 weeks in, there's still a long way to go. Lots more work to be done, lots more development, but it's really good progress so far. So keep watching this space and enjoy our journey as we enjoy growing together.
We cleared with care, not with haste. Every row a love letter trace.